Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In this video here we're going to be doing something a little bit different where instead of taking you through my collection, I will be taking you through my process of opening a group order. So in my very limited spare time, I am a group order manager for groups such as Pentagon and SF9, although I do focus most of my efforts on Pentagon. The type of group orders I open can range from fansign group orders where I enter these fan signs with the intention of meeting these idols and getting enough pre-order benefits for all my joiners to get their claims, and I also open for regular merchandise like magazines, t-shirts. Usually if a Pentagon has something with their face on it, I try to open for it, but I am a little selective and I usually only open group orders for things that I choose to purchase myself as well. I actually didn't film too much content for this in terms of my walkthrough and screen recording, so I'm not going to go into too much detail about what fansign and video calls are, but a general gist is sometimes if you buy through a certain site, they give you pre-order benefits, which are additional merchandise items, usually photo cards, in addition to the actual albums themselves. And if you buy enough, you get entered into a raffle where if you win the raffle amongst all the other fans, you get to win a personal video call with an idol or their group. So the first step in becoming a group order manager, aside from having enough time to actually partake in all these responsibilities, is to find a group order that you actually want to open for. So in order to search for these group orders, or to search for these sites who release merchandise that you want to purchase from, a lot of the times you just need to go to the actual group's official Instagram. So in this situation, I am going to be showing you how to open for Pentagon Kino's special single Pose, which was his, special single album with one song. And he had quite a few online fan signs, so I actually opened for all 5 of his online and in-person fan signs, and I will be walking you through the process here. So the first thing you gotta do is go to their official Twitter and go to any group's official Twitter. They will always announce these events online and on those specific sites themselves. Once you find it, you slowly begin to recognize a pattern that these sites release these informations or these pre-order links. So with Pentagon, they always release things at midnight KST. Actually, no, they always release things at noon KST. So after a while, you begin to recognize the tweets. Here I have pulled up the actual tweet itself that announces special single, Pose, DMC Music. DMC Music is the site that I will be pre-ordering from. So I will click into DMC Music over here. And here you have the announcement for what type of event it is. For this first arrow over here, I do have to admit that I'll be honest, I don't think you need to know any Korean to interpret these fan sign announcements. I think if you have access to Papago, or if you're using your phone, you can also use Google Translate on your phone, because I think your camera is able to take a picture and translate it for you. So this first red arrow up here tells you the date of the fan sign. So this says that the date of the fan sign is August 21st at, 2 p.m.? Yeah, so 2 p.m. is the in-person fan sign, and 4 p.m. is the online fan sign. So it looks like the in-person fan sign runs for 2 hours longer. Even though they say that the online fan sign is going to happen at 4 p.m., that's a lie. They are never on time with the online fan signs that happen immediately after the offline/in-person fan signs. The second arrow over here tells you the pre-order time period. So it looks like this one runs from August 18th to August 20th at 8 p.m. Is that 8 p.m.? Yes, that's 8 p.m. Please note that all of these times are in Korean Standard Time, so if you're not in Korea and you actually want to join these orders, you need to make your order before that time. This third arrow down here tells you the time that they announce the winners. So it looks like DMC announces their winners pretty soon after the pre-order period ends, because there's only a 2-hour difference in between those two. And this last one, this fourth arrow down here, that tells you how many winners there are. So it looks like there are 30 in-person ones, and then the online one, the online video call one, is 15 with a total of 45 winners. This is a little more information, and this tells you additional winner benefits. So that first bullet point that I actually didn't point out says that there are 3 pre-order photo cards, 1 per album purchase. And the second arrow, or this actual arrow down here that I'm actually pointing at, this says that you can win a signed Polaroid, in which the online fan sign raffle winners, out of 5 of them, they can all win one. Is that signed? Okay, 1 Polaroid. I'm not sure if it's signed or not, but a lot of the times this information is not listed in English, so I do recommend having like a translator app on you. And then when you scroll down, it's just a bunch of disclaimers, stuff like that. So down there, you have the links to the actual pre-order and the raffle. So the left looks like the in-person fan sign, and the right looks like the online one. Here is the outreach and the marketing aspect of it. So I use my best friend Canva to help me create all of my announcements for Instagram and Twitter. Canva is my best friend for making graphics. I have most of these graphics technically pre-made. Like, as you can see through this little flip through, I'm mostly just changing some details here and there, like the site, the price, and the photo in order to differentiate it from my previous group orders. Once I save it, I post it to my own personal Discord server where I have my previous GO descriptions already typed out. As you can see, I'm changing all the information again, and including any additional information, such as the fact that this one will not be raffled off. Now is the fun part, which may be a little more tedious for someone who's doing this for the first time. But for new group order managers, I definitely recommend getting familiar with Google Forms. Google Forms is so automated and so convenient and so streamlined that I feel like it's basically necessary. Like, I don't trust group order managers who just like take your order. Like, I want to be able to have a form to reference everything, especially because sometimes the options for the form is that you can choose to send a response to the person who filled it out, therefore they have a copy as to what they actually ordered and what they paid. So luckily for me, I do have a lot of these older group order templates because I've opened so many for Kino's pose. You can tell through here I'm really just going through and changing the site name so people aren't confused when they're filling out this group order form instead. You can read all of my information there. It's not too important for the sake of this video, but I do think that being as honest as you can about the costs is definitely a nice thing for your joiners, because they're going to feel more at ease and believe that you know what you're doing. So the Joan fan sign that I essentially copied, I actually raffled off that fan sign because I had met Kino a couple times already and I knew I wasn't going to have the time to meet him again for this fan sign, but I still wanted to help people get their Polaroids, get their pre-order benefits, so I did raffle off the call. I did win the fan sign, and that person who won the raffle did get to talk to Kino. Now that you have your form and your graphic made, all you have to do is get joiners. So I definitely recommend posting on Instagram and Twitter, honestly whatever social media account you're comfortable with sharing. And once you get all those group order joiners, and once they fill out the form and send you payment, before the deadline is when you're supposed to make the actual order. After you make your order, what I usually do is I take a screenshot of my order and I send it to all of my GO joiners, just so they know that the order has been placed. So something you may have noticed is the fact that I skipped over telling you how to make a payment. Unfortunately, that's pretty specific and not really something that I can walk you through. But most of the time it is self-explanatory, except for fansign events where they usually ask you for some preliminary information. For example, they're going to ask you for your name, your age in the year, month, day format, and usually some sort of ID for social media like Kakao Talk. And when the time finally comes, you can go back to the original site and you can try to navigate to one of their notice boards. In that notice boards, they will tell you the list of winners. So depending on the site, they may dox you a lot, honestly. Like, some sites do not redact any part of your name, like they only redact maybe one letter and 3 numbers from your phone number. But some other sites do cover a bunch of information. So hopefully you get to guess your information and you don't see anyone else who has a similar name or a similar phone number to you, and you can see that you've actually won the fan sign. So that is a very quick speed run so far. This video actually went a lot longer than expected. I only have technically 5 minutes of a screen recording on my computer, so this will go a little longer. So bear with me as I try to figure out what fan cams to throw in here to keep your attention. But if you have any questions about my very fast speed run of how to be a group order manager or how to open group orders, here you go. And if you have any questions, please let me know, because I'd love to help out more group order managers, because I think it's a really fun community to be a part of. Thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoyed this video and that I see you for the next one.